My name's Donna Kim. I'm a highly accomplished teacher, so I'm part of the leadership team because I have that extra qualification. I have 19 students in my class. 2 of those are ESL with very little English. I have 5 recognised Indigenous students, and I have 1 special needs student. They're 5 and 6 year olds and they move around a lot, so you have to keep them engaged and move things fairly quickly. Ready? Start. Jump, jump, start. Normally the sequence for a maths lesson is that we do a tuning in activity. So first of all we did a pattern in a dance that they're familiar with. And then after that I do some explicit teaching. So that might involve going back over what we've already learnt but then introducing something new that they hadn't done before. The explicit teaching is the part where I talk to them about what's expected from the curriculum content. So today we're learning about patterns. What do we know about patterns? Patterns can change. Patterns are repetitive, using that language that is from the Australian curriculum, but also things that they are familiar with and building on from the knowledge that they already have. What kind of pattern is this one then?
A-B.
Awesome. A, B, A, B. Usually have 4 rotational activities geared towards being able to have a bookwork component.
Red, blue, yellow, green.
Awesome. So that repeats, doesn't it? Good job. So what is it? Is it an ABC pattern or what? Let's have a look. And a couple of very hands-on arty activities. So today they did potato prints of patterns that I had guided so that they knew exactly what was required, and I had noticed some children weren't quite getting the idea of the repeating pattern. A, B, beautiful. That's fantastic. They also had a PEG activity which allows for those students who are getting the concept to just keep going ahead with that. Cool. So this all repeats, doesn't it? Let me see. Is it a ABC pattern? Ah, I got it right. Well done. Good job. And the group with me is very instructional. This is a particular kind of pattern, this is how we do it, and this is what you might see. And that group was just with me today, and the next day I would have a new group. And then across that week, they would rotate through those 4 activities. See if we can work out this one. What colour? Blue, green. My differentiation, I think, comes with my teaching on the floor. Even though I've got a mixed ability group, I'm fairly clear on what level they are at, so my questioning will change to suit the differing abilities in my little group that I take. There were some times when I'd have to really guide some students in, this is how the pattern is, let's go through it a bit at a time, whereas the others can explain to me if I ask the right question that, oh yes, that's an AB pattern and here it is, AB, AB. You're a bit tricky. That was a tricky one. What about this one? Good job. Awesome. That's an AB pattern, isn't it? Because there's 2 colours and they repeat. We also do assessments once every 5 weeks to see how they're going. And then we'll review that. So if there are still some gaps in learning, then we'll go back and do some revising. We normally have a reflection session of what did we learn, what did you notice, what happened in your group, how did that work?
Where possible, we try to use an evidence base, some theory that will underpin what we're doing in the classroom. One of the examples, the training in the Count Me In 2 program, which is quite widespread in New South Wales, the work of Bob Wright and his associates. We're able to assess where students are at and then move them forward with excellent activities that have been well trialled in classrooms.
I've based all of my method of teaching on Count Me In 2. I really liked the tuning in, the instruction, the activity and then the reflection. I thought that worked for students. It really cemented all of their learning together. So a lot of my lessons are based on that Count Me In 2, particularly in mathematics. And I've adapted it a little bit, but that's generally how I will run my lesson because it works.